for another session, another day. I'll be here briefly, probably an hour max, just to discuss the ongoing drama shenanigans in the Kenyan political scenes. A lot is happening. Raila Odinga released a press statement for us to read regarding the appointments of the ODM folks that were included in or nominated by President William Samoei Ruto. Also, newsflash, just an hour ago, Martha Karua just posted telling us that she is no longer part of the coalition, the NAC Kenya, which is, she's the head of NAC Kenya. They are bolting out of the coalition due to what's been happening. What seems to be like Raila and Ruto causing up. Here's the thing. Mada leo is Raila is a certified political conman that want to play both sides. I've said it before. I've said it, and I'll say it for the umpteenth time. This guy is a coward. Instead of just coming out and taking one side and say, hey, listen, Gen Z, I don't stand with what you are doing in the streets or whatever the case is. I'm joining the government. I'm with Ruto. Now ODM and UDA can work together, or Kenya Kwanza and ODM, or ODM can join Kenya Kwanza. Instead of saying that, he's still being a coward. He's trying to pretend that, we are still maintaining broad-based nonsense. No. Just have some balls and say, I have left Azimio, just like Karua did, and say, I'm joining Kenya Kwanza. ODM is going to be part of Kenya Kwanza, and we are going to try to take this country to whatever the case we are taking it to, instead of pretending that, you're releasing this in. Okay? Now, again, for those of you diehard ODM fans, or maybe Raila fans, because it seems like ODM does not have a following. It has a cult following of its leader, Raila Odinga. They are fans of Raila Odinga. But anyway, we'll get to that. Before I get in, let me just acknowledge a couple of people who are in the chat who are joining us here. I'll start with Kinzal. Thank you very much for joining me. James Wood is also with us. Kama kawaida, nice seeing you, brother. Vicky Hanel is joining us from UK, Birmingham. Okay, or Birmingham, I don't know how to say Birmingham, I think. Nice seeing you too. James is telling us Ruto is shrewd. He's managed to turn the people's attention to Raila. Yeah, you can look at it that way. Vicky Hanel is telling us, hello, you from UK, Birmingham, at work, watching you guys. Wow. We are all together. Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching us, for watching me, and watching everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, the first order of business, as you know, as soon as you get in here, please like the video, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so we can go on. I will start without wasting any time. Again, if you're still living under a rock, I will remind you that Martha Karua just, gave a statement, a press statement, saying that her NAC Kenya is leaving the Azimio coalition. They've quit. And I'll show you in a minute. Let's just start with that right there. Martha Karua. Let's go. Martha Karua, if I can find her page, and I will read it to you what she says, okay? All right, you guys are ready? Let me read it to you in case you're just joining, so I can show you what Martha exactly wrote on a Twitter page, making it official that she has left the Azimio coalition. Okay, here it is. I hope you can see it. And I've enlarged it, and I will read it. So, na Kenya Wongozi Bora, there's the address and all that stuff. This was written on 25th July 2024. Okay. To Honorable Junet Mohammed, the Secretary General. There's Imula Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Secretariat, Parliament Building. Dear Sir, and this is to notice to exit from Azimio la Umoja One Coalition. Kindly take note that our stay in Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition is not tenable due to the prevailing political developments. As NAC Kenya, by the way of this letter, we are giving notice to exit the coalition as stipulated in the exit clause. And he, so the parenthesis, whatever the case is, in the coalition agreement. This notice is effective from the date of this letter. Yours sincerely, Asha Bashir, AG, Secretary General of NAC Kenya. Okay. Of course, Martha Karua was NAC Kenya presidential candidate before she joined Azimio. She posted that on her Twitter page. So NAC Kenya, basically, they've just gave notice today, the 25th, that they are leaving the Azimio coalition. So who's left? Azimio is left with Wiper, and I think it's Jubilee with Kioni. And who else? I think that's about it. I don't know who else is there. ODM is already gone to Jubilee, to Kenya Kwanza. You can argue that. Okay. So Joyo. Yeah. Then Martha Karua actually retweeted something from Not Yet Uhuru, which said, "What if Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Kioni? Some of them are tainted, but an enemy of the enemy is my friend. Whatever that means." Basically, she retweeted something by Kenyan vigilante who posted something about Babu Owino, which said, "You went to the university for free and you are seated in State House, Mr. President, because of free university education, but you are making it impossible for other Kenyans to go to university by raising school fees." Basically, this guy is saying, if Babu Owino, Sifuna, and the rest start up their political party and run against Ruto and whatever, I'm not for that. These guys, all of them needs to go. But breaking news: Martha Karua and NAC Kenya have officially left Azimio coalition. Notification ndio hiyo ameshapatiana. Okay, Hilary Kogaich is joining us over here, telling us, "Bro, you are fighting a lost battle. Ruto will reign for 10 straight years. Save your breath for something constructive." I don't think Ruto is going to reign for 10 years. I do not think so. Still, and if he does, fair and good. I will criticize him as much as I can if he does something that is unconstitutional. So I will not just pump my brakes because Ruto is the president. We should hold him accountable. Whether he stays for 10 years or 20 years, 40 years, we shall scream. Let me just speak for myself. I shall scream from the rooftops if he keeps on doing something that's unconstitutional, something wrong, something that's not pro-Kenya, as he is as of right now. So him ruling for 10 years or 30, 40, 50, 100 years is immaterial. To me, I will scream on top of my lungs as long as he does things that are not beneficial to Kenya. That's my role in this. So I can care less if he stays 100 years, but I will fight him. I'll fight him tooth and nail so that he can get out or ship up or ship out. Okay? So that's my role. All right. So there you go, guys. Martha Karua and NAC Kenya are leaving Azimio. So Azimio are still left with a couple of other people. Kalonzo Musyoka had something to say too. Kalonzo Musyoka also had something to say. And I'll get to Raila. I will get to Raila Odinga. I will get to that. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comments. Here's Kalonzo. He says something. I don't know what he was saying. I didn't quite get a chance to read what he was saying, but I will go ahead and do that. I'll play his video. Here's Kalonzo Musyoka. He posted this an hour ago. I don't know what the heck he was talking about.
To put it in the first person singular, you're involving me in semantics. The simple truth is we are not interested. And if you want to put it in the first person singular, I am not interested. Okay. This other thing is a matter for ODM. We have addressed you today as Azimio La Umoja, One Kenya. The coalition as of today has not received an indication or a notice to the effect that ODM will be pulling out or are pulling out of the coalition. If that happens, we'll deal with it. You're involving me in semantics.
Ah,
The simple
okay. So Kalonzo is saying, Kalonzo is still basically talking about Azimio this, Azimio that. Nobody really cares. Anyway, ODM with Raila Odinga. ODM released a press statement, okay? And that's the press statement that I want us to focus on today. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. Go ahead and like the video, share, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. Here, there's the press statement by Raila Odinga. This is what it says. Okay, I want you to pay attention because this comes after the day when Raila Odinga named the names of his nominees from the ODM party. Hassan Joho, Mbadi, Oparanya, and the rest, okay? So after all the brouhaha and people reacting to that, here Raila comes out, Raila Secretariat, this is what he says. This is what Raila says. Notice the language that he'll be using. And I want you to focus on this. While we read this letter, I will read it to you. But what I want you to focus on, I want you to focus on whether Raila is going to indicate that he endorses the whole idea of Mbadi and the rest of them joining Ruto's cabinet, or is he going to reject it? Let me repeat. As we read this letter, I want us to look at this letter anywhere where Raila will say that he fully endorses or blesses or is in agreement with the cabinet selection of these ODM members joining cabinet being nominated. Is he going to fully embrace it, or is he not going to mention it at all and dilly-dally around it? Okay, because that's what we are looking at. Because remember, okay, because remember, what happened was this. Sifuna said something different as the AG, Secretary General, SG of ODM, saying that anyone who goes and joins the Ruto's government is doing so on their own and without the blessing of the ODM party, as they discussed. But remember, Kaluma told us that Raila already forwarded some names to Ruto that were supposed to be nominated. And the next day, Ruto named the names. So there's two factions here. There's two information that we're getting that are not aligned. And I explained in my last video saying this. Sifuna's statement was meant to be a backup plan in case there's countrywide dissatisfaction or pushback. Okay? If they received a lot of backlash due to these nominations, they can always use Sifuna's statement as the Secretary General, saying that, you see, it was not the position of the ODM party to send those nominees, those people who are nominated in Nanindi's cabinet, in Ruto's cabinet. Okay? They want this. They wanted to join this Ninio. This thing was planned way before. They were just waiting for the timing. Okay? So again, Sifuna's statement as the Secretary General indicating that those who were nominated by Ruto, they're doing so on their own, and that is not the official opposition of the ODM party wanting them to join Ruto's party. And I said, it is ODM pretending that that's not the official position because of what? Just in case if there's a setback of or pushback from the people, wananchi wakiwakasirikia, okay? If wananchi wakikasirika, they can always go to that letter and send Sifuna like they send him today debating Ojienda, Professor Ojienda, and to tell us that, oh, you know what? Hassan Joho, Mbadi, and the rest, Wandai, they accepted that position as individuals. That was not the official opposition. Sorry, that was not official position of the ODM party. We did not send them there. Hao walienda tu kivyao. Okay? But Kaluma spilled the beans when he was ranting at the National Assembly when he said Baba already sent the what? The names of the people who he want to join the cabinet. So they're trying to play both sides. So today, Baba made a statement, and let's look to see if he's going to confirm that he forwarded those messages, those names to Ruto, for those names to be included in the cabinet. Or is he going to not mention it and skirt around that issue? So let's read the official letter by Raila Odinga. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. Let me read that letter. Be prepared. I will be slow, and hopefully you can hear me clearly. I'm going to enlarge in this letter so you can see it word for word, okay? Press release by Right Honorable Raila Odinga, EGH cabinet appointments. He's referring to this the cabinet appointments, okay? So here is what they said, or Raila said, because this is him basically. Of course, somebody probably wrote this letter for him, but here it is. I have taken note of President William Ruto's announcements yesterday regarding the reconstitution of the cabinet to include 4 members from ODM. As articulated in our statement on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024, he is referring to the statement by who? By Secretary General Sifuna. Neither the ODM party nor Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party has entered into any coalition agreement with President Ruto's UDA party. He goes on. We had anticipated the crafting of clear terms. He couldn't even say terms. Terms of engagement based on issues we raised in our various communiques. Okay? While we extend our best wishes to the nominees and trust that they will contribute positively to national development, we continue to advocate for a national engagement under the conditions we have previously outlined as below. And it goes about compensation of families of victims of extrajudicial executions and persons injured by the state since last year, release of all persons in custody and termination of all cases related to protests since last year, prosecution of policemen involved in the shooting to kill or maim protesters. Then he goes on and says, ODM remains steadfast in upholding its foundational principles of democracy, good governance, and social justice. These principles shall at all times guide our actions and decisions as we strive for the betterment of our nation. We urge all stakeholders to remain committed to the ideals of unity and progress for all prosperity of all Kenyans. Signed by Raila Odinga, July 25th, 24th. Okay, this is a bunch of nonsense, okay? I'll tell you why it's nonsense, okay? So, remember, in the previous letter written by Sifuna said that anyone from the ODM party who goes and joins the cabinet, Ruto's cabinet, does so on his own, okay? That's not the official position of ODM party. They are not encouraging. They did not send anyone to join the cabinet. So anyone from ODM who goes there and Ninio, wako peke yao. That's what the Secretary General wrote. But Kaluma, whatever his name is, when he was ranting, he went and said, Baba already forwarded some names to Ruto to be included. And he was very particular. I say Luos need to be on the cabinet. He got as tribal as it can get. Okay? And say that, if anything, Nani should be very careful. Sifuna should be careful or he'll be fired. Okay? Then look at how this letter is. They think they're clever in how they crafted this letter. Because listen to this letter. You heard what he said. He said what? Listen to me. As articulated in our statement on Tuesday, July 23, the one that Nani Aliandika, Secretary General, we have not entered into a coalition with what? President Ruto's UDA party. Nobody was questioning whether you entered into a coalition with UDA party. That was not the issue. Raila Odinga. No one questioned if ODM has entered into a coalition with UDA party. The issue at hand is your Secretary General Sifuna told us that it was not ODM position to send people to join Ruto's cabinet. If they do so, if there's anyone from ODM who gets nominated by Ruto and accepts the position, they do so individually, not that the party gives them the blessing to do so. But now they're telling us, oh, we have not joined UDA party. We haven't gotten into a coalition. That is not the issue. The issue is if you really sent these names, forwarded these names to be accepted as nominees in Ruto's cabinet. And Kaluma told us that Raila actually had a list that he sent Ruto to accept. But now you're making it about coalition. No one said that ODM have joined UDA coalition government. Then he goes on, whoever wrote this thing, we had anticipated the crafting of clear terms of engagement based on issues we've raised in our various communiques, which nobody cares about. You know, he pretends now he's bringing all these issues that Gen Zs were mentioning because they want to appease the Gen Zs. They want the Gen Zs to be on their on their side. So they are trying to bring in, remember the case about compensation, release of all people who are Ninio, the prosecution of the police. These are the terms that we wanted before we talk about anything. These were the terms that we agreed upon before any engagement. Meanwhile, Raila Odinga alishatuma Ninio, Kaluma akapeleka Ninio, the list of those who akina Joho to join the Ninio, the government, the cabinet. Then tells Sifuna to say that hao watu wameenda kwa cabinet wameenda tu kivyao without the blessing of the ODM. That's not the official position of the ODM folks. ODM as a party. Trying to play both sides. So that way if they have a backlash wakasema, si mimi nilisema ati hao wakienda huko wameenda peke yao. Because it's trying to play both sides. Instead of coming out and say, listen, we wanted to join the government. This is what is it. We wanted to join this government. We wanted to join the cabinet. And I sent some names there so that we can get into the government. Come out and say it. Stop playing for people for fools. Yeah? But again, it goes, anyone who has gone them, the Wamenda up, we wish them well. Unaona hii ujinga? These guys are, you know what? Let me tell you something. Raila is actually worse than Ruto. Raila Odinga is worse than William Samoei Ruto. I'll tell you why. Like the video. Raila Molo Odinga is worse than William Samoei Ruto. I will tell you why. Are you ready for why? For me to tell you why. This guy pretends to be caring about the needs and wants and the struggle of the Kenyan people. He pretends. It's a good question to ask. Why is it that in every regime since, after Uhuru's dad, what's his name? Kenyatta. Okay? Moi was oppressive for 24 years. Raila got into a coalition with him, handshake. Kibaki messed up and became oppressive in the second half of his new regime. Illegitimate win. Raila came in and shook hands with him and legitimized his presidency after thousands killed and thousands maimed and people losing their lives. Uhuru Kenyatta, who lacked legitimacy, who ruled with a heavy hand, was basically removed by the Kenyan people, popular revolution. It was Raila who came in and legitimized him. William Ruto, who was cornered, ready to be removed, and is still cornered. Here is Raila Odinga. Again, this guy is a controlled opposition. I've been saying this, I've made tons of video of this. He's a CIA, British intelligence agent. He is put there to give people the illusion that they have a functioning opposition, but he dines and wines with the devil himself. He is the responsible, just like the murders that happened under Ruto, under Uhuru Kenyatta, under Moi, under Kibaki. Raila is liable for that because he supports and abates oppressive regimes by pretending to be championing, understanding the plight of majority of Kenyans. And Gen Z, this is the time to remove all, drain all the swamp. Raila together with Ruto must go. Wakati wa kujifanya ati yeye ndio siyo baba imeisha. Let's send them all home. And I'm glad some people are doing something that I've advocated for. Listen to me very careful, all children of Kenya. Hizi mchezo zake za kujifanya guambo sijui nini. He's not a guambo, he's a conman. Tiringenye. Umganga. Time is up, Raila. Raila Odinga, your time is up. Time is up. Tiringenye. Conman must go along with Ruto. Hakuna kujifanya. Hizi mchezo za toka. Raila, saa yako imefika kwenda nyumbani. You are no longer relevant in Kenyan politics. Na sio tafadhali Raila. You can bring your goons. Hatujali. Wacha niwasomee nini moja. There's something that I like. 88 is coming. Ngoja niwaonyeshe nyinyi 88 hapa. Mnataka kuona 88? I like this. Hebu mngoje muone. Let me show you real quick. Ngojeni kidogo. Ngoja tuone. Ama Conman wanafaa.
I am asking all the youth on the 8th of August, tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8, the youths of this country will be having a small meeting of 2 to 3 million people with the president at State House. Don't miss that meeting. I am asking all the youth who are in Nairobi to assist their fellow youth in Mombasa, in Kitale, in Karatina, in Eldoret, to travel over to Nairobi in preparation for our small meeting with the president on the 8th of August. We are just going to sit down with him and just have him explain to us that there are a few things he has done and how he has done them. So if you still stand for good governance and transparency and accountability, and if you still believe that Kenya has enough resources for all of us, and that everybody can have an opportunity to live and grow and marry and you know, have property in this country, then this is your moment to not miss that meeting on the 8th of August, where we will be having a small meeting with His Excellency the President at State House of 2 to 3 million people. Now, I know there have been celebrations all over the country where youths have been celebrating the appointments that were made by the president and saying, thank you for including our tribe and this. I know we said we are tribeless. Now, those youth who have done that, some of them is out of ignorance. Others have consumed propaganda, all right? And others are just been paid to celebrate, to create that perception that people are happy. These youth, they are your brothers and sisters. Don't beat them up. Don't abuse them on social media. Don't belittle them. Just educate them. Slowly but deliberately, bring them to the light to understand that what we were fighting for was not for individuals to have positions. This is not what people died for. This is what we want. This is the Kenya we want. All right. So make sure you don't miss that meeting. Remember, it's at our own invitation. Okay. We've invited ourselves to go and consume our own public resources. Asanteni sana.
It's called Nani Nani, where everybody from every youth from every part of the country shall come to Nairobi.
Raila. Mko wapi sahi? Your savior has failed you. Your Kamugai has failed you miserably. Bro, mlikuwa tumeheshimu mtu, tulikuwa tunatenga wadi yake ni fine. Wale mlikuwa mmeabudu Raila, wale Raila akisema hii ya mpingani nayo, wale mlikuwa mmeheshimu Raila, wale mlikuwa mulali cha Raila, Raila akisema hii mnafanya hii. Raila. Mko wapi sahi? Your savior has failed you. Your Kamugai has failed you miserably. Bro, mlikuwa tumeheshimu mtu, tulikuwa tunatenga wadi yake ni final. Decisions zake zinamake na sound mind, you know, anajua kitu anafanya, bro. Where are you now? Kama bado mna trust kitu amefanya sahi, you still trust kitu amefanya sahi? Always believe a politician to be a politician. Always believe a politician to be a what? A politician. Buddha. Ile kazi yote tumefanya, ile kelele yote tumefanya, zile tiaga zote tumekula. Wale watu wote wameuliwa unfairly na police. Still the guy did not get that. Yeah, give a fuck. Aji. It's about him. Na benefit watu wako around him, his political friends. Anyway.
That's funny. I'll give you that. That's funny. All right, Negus, what will explain? Let me explain something to you. I say that August 8th meeting doesn't make sense. I don't support the idea of it, but even if I did, why spend resources traveling to Nairobi instead of hosting it online? I think you kind of didn't understand the whole point he was making. He was being facetious when he was saying that, oh, we are going to invite ourselves to State House and listen to and have the president explain to us why he has been doing what he's doing. What he really means is what happened at Tariri Square. That is what he's referring to. Again, the other party was just being sarcastic about, oh, we'll have him explain, or we'll have a talk with him. No. This is why I made a video about that, Chief Negus. Please subscribe, share, like, comment, so you can see these things. I've been talking about that. Like I said, it's okay to have a nationwide maandamano in every huge major town in Kenya. That's fine. While we do that, there's one main thing that we can do. The one main method that has always worked and will work. The army is with us. The police cannot stop us. If we all converge down in Nairobi State House, we can take it over. And I gave the reason it has been done in Kenya. Remember when Raila alikuwa anapishwa in 2018, is it 2018, 2017? There was the serikali wakina Mudaro or whatever the case is, they came out and said no one should go to Uhuru Park. Uhuru Park is a no-go zone, and walienda wakapeleka GSU to protect Uhuru Park. But people came from all over the country, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Wapi, wakafika Nairobi, and they marched to Uhuru Park. The police with their tear gas walikimbia, and Raila was aliapishwa, okay? Then the plan was to go to State House. They were waiting for Raila to say, let's go to the State House. Raila and I already had talked to Nani. Because remember, if you remember the story, and I'll help you guys. The story is, Raila did not even want to come out to be kuapishwa. And remember, Miguna said whether he likes it or not, because the people demanded that aapishwe. Enough is enough. Raila mpaka apishwe. And Raila didn't even want to come out, but the people were waiting for him at Uhuru Park. So he came out. Now the plan was to go to State House and remove Uhuru. But Raila alishapigia Uhuru simu, wakapiga njaro. He went there, and then baada ya kuapishwa, he gave a small speech. Then he jumped into the Range Rover and ran off. Okay? And people didn't go to State House because it was him who was supposed to call it out and say, let's go to State House. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is this, in short. The whole idea he's saying, and there was a poster of it, of Nane. People, business people, the owners of easy transportation, hata kama unajaza watu kwa SGR, hiyo siku SGR ijae. People, if we can have at least 5 million people in Nairobi on the 8th, okay? On the 8th, 5 million people or more, at least 5 million people marching towards State House. Army cannot stop that. Have you, as you can see, Army wakikuja, they never intervene. They're there just to make sure everything is peaceful. It is the police who are always there lobbing tear gas at people, not the Army. If anything, in the last case in a pipeline, the Army people got into a confrontation with the police, where they told the police, hey, you cannot be lobbing tear gas at people in their residential homes. So the idea of Nane is let everyone, as many people as we can, 5 million at least, to meet at Nairobi, then march to State House. It has been done before. Even in America, it was happening. I'll show you a clip of what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now, which is very, very, very something similar, where they are shifting people with buses. People are coming in with buses. I'll show you. It has been done. Let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick in case you haven't seen the clip. This is happening in Washington, D.C. as we speak right now. You heard about how they were making noise where Netanyahu. Okay, sorry, this is not Washington, D.C. This is Nairobi today, CBD. Is it? This is Nairobi today, CBD. Anyway, I want to show you the Washington one. Here it is. Okay, watch. Nani, I want you to watch. This is how you can do this. This is what's happening in Washington. They're I don't want to use the word shipping people from other parts of the country to come and protest in Washington, D.C. Here is the buses that was carrying the protesters. Look. So somebody hired the buses, protesters wakuja hapo ku protest in Washington, D.C. Here it is what is happening. So naona. You see how protesters wanafanya in D.C. Hapo in Washington, D.C. You see that? And there's the protesters coming in with the buses wanashuka. Unaelewa? Unaona vile wanakuja? You see? There you go. Some naona. So it's not like it hasn't been done before. It was done in Kenya in 2018, 2017. Vile watu walienda Uhuru Park wakamwapisha Raila. And Uhuru, he was the most nervous day for Uhuru's presidency. He was going to be removed by popular revolution. Jamaa alikuwa ameogopa. Yes, yes, there's a Netanyahu protest where Netanyahu could not sleep. But what I'm trying to say is this can be done in Kenya. And I've made a video on that, how we can remove Ruto. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Chief Nuggets. Yes, a 1 million man march. And I said, the significance of it can be, ile siku Ruto was sworn in on, I think, September 13th. That would be ideal day, but I understand how watu wakikuja Nairobi, you have to put them somewhere. You have to put them somewhere. So the guy was talking about it. I think, did you guys listen to what he said? Actually, there's a poster out for Nane Nane. Let me try to find it. I think I have it somewhere. Poster, let's see. Actually, here it is. Take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and enemies and comrades. Here it is. Look at it. Ndio hii poster. Nane Nane. This is what we need to do. Raila and Ruto needs to go. They need to get it. The power is with the people. Imchezo ya kucheza watu every time. It's over with. Here it is. I hope you can see the screen, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades. July 24th to July. Mnaweza kusoma? Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? Look at it carefully. You can unaweza kuininio. Unaweza you can read it in slow-mo. You can find it. Go check out the guy called Jomba Smith have posted it. I think some other people who have posted it. He says, Allah, even the timetable for 99 is out. 99 is out. July 24th to July 27th, spreading the word. Mnasikia? All of you guys who are watching this, please do this. So number one, TikTok, create videos and share them widely. Share, tell people we are descending on Nairobi on 99. WhatsApp, update your status and share with contacts. Facebook said X post and share messages to raise awareness. On the 28th to 31st July, mobilizing for what? Transportation. Mnanisikia? Can you read the screen? Okay, thank you so much. So the schedule iko hapo. Again, on the 28th to 31st July, mobilizing for transportation. Ensure that people from all 47 counties can travel to Nairobi for the march. Coordinate to arrange buses and other means of transport. Organize carpooling and group transportation from each county where possible. 1st to 4th August, so kutokea tarehe 1 mpaka 4 August, organizing accommodation. Pale mtalala, pale watu talala, you can organize that, whether you can arrange with churches or mosque, watu walale kwa church or mosque or whatever the case, where there's huge grounds, something like that. And the neighboring counties ambao sio mbali na Nairobi, if there's too much people, because a million is a bunch of people, it's a lot of people. All right. Provide lodging for participants traveling from across Kenya. Call on Nairobi residents to open their homes and offer accommodation to fellow marchers. Partner with local hosts and hotels for discounted rates. Set up temporary shelters and camps for those who will need it. Then on the 5th to 7th August is final preparations and coordination. Confirm all transportation and accommodation arrangements. Conduct final briefings with volunteers and coordinators. Occupy CBD and march forward. We need everyone to Nairobi from all 47 counties. Just like Tahrir Square in Egypt, we will not leave until our goal is accomplished. What is the goal? Ruto has to announce that he's no longer the president of the Republic of Kenya. Skia. So there's the plan. I've been advocating for this. I've been saying, hizi maandamano zimekuwa zikifanyika, they are well and good, and I like them, and I like the fact that people are out there expressing themselves. But the way to remove this guy is if everyone converge in Nairobi. Kila mtu akutane Nairobi huko CBD from all 47 counties. Even if it's all 47 counties can't make it, at least 40 of the counties. Milioni tano, 6 or 7 or 10 million. I would rather have 10 million, which is a lot, but I would go with at least 5 million people in CBD marching, walking peacefully towards State House. Nobody can stop that. Hata wale wakora wa Raila hawezi kufanya kitu. We must remove these people. Hata Raila kileta wale maonini wake, they cannot. Yes, Kinzel, you're right. Oligarchs, Conman, wote waende hashtag. Yes, that's how to remove these people. Hawatatoka, they will not. Wanacheza hizi mchezo za paka na panya. You see how sijui anasema, oh, no. But no. We cannot play this. I'm sorry. It's over with. Here's a new by this great Pan-Africanist, I forgot his name, Kwame something. Let's listen to it. It tells us something about our leaders.
The African bourgeoisie is the most corrupt bourgeoisie in the world. In Africa, They seek luxury in the midst of mass suffering. There are more Mercedes in Africa than in any other continent in the world. In America, as soon as they arrive at a position based on this blood of the people, they snatch that position and run away from the people. But you must not think that they represent the people. They only represent their opportunistic self, using the people every step of the way. So you must not be confused. It must be clear then, for the 60s, the class struggle in the African Revolution must be more ruthless and uncompromising than in any other revolution. Here then the masses must come without pity and without mercy to trample upon these reactionary pigs who, after the people have gained struggle through their blood, come to hand back the gains on a silver platter to the very enemy the people fought. This will come as a natural consequence. The people themselves are everywhere screaming that it's time for them to deal with these reactionary pigs. Even in America, they say, our leaders must be held accountable. They're only saying here that these people must be accountable to those who made it possible for them to get there. Thus, not only is the revolution inevitable, but it is clarifying itself and it is qualifying itself. For the African masses everywhere, the clairpoised position now for class struggle has become inevitable and irreversible. The petty bourgeoisie everywhere will be running for cover, but the masses will spare them not. Consequently, we who have dedicated our lives to the people's struggle, we who, knowing that the people will always be free, we, understanding that we must make a contribution to qualify our struggle since the 60s, have been dedicating all our energies to only one task: the organization of the masses of our people. The organization of the masses of our people. We are not running for mayor. We're not running for president. No changes can come from the top down. We're not stupid. Changes can only come from the bottom up. The masses and the masses alone can make them. If you want to learn something from the 60s, the lesson is simple: organize the masses of the people. Thank you.
Anyway, so that's an example of I think his name is Kwame. I forgot his last name. Originally he was from Trinidadian, but American, very involved in the 60s in the struggle against struggle to get the black people there realize their freedom. But he lived in Africa, and he was highlighting the African bourgeoisie, the Raila Odingas, the Uhuru Kenyatas, the Rutos, how these guys, they accumulate a lot of wealth by using the people's hard-earned money, okay, by stealing it, and they buy Mercedes-Benz. There's more Mercedes-Benz in Africa than anywhere else. So basically, they're using us. But again, not to get off topic, I just want to emphasize that finally somebody got it right, that as I've been advocating, the only way we can remove these people is if we all meet up in Nairobi and march to State House. March to State House. 5 million people in Nairobi marching to State House. No army in the world can stop that. Okay? I'm hearing news that what's his face has been arrested, Boniface Mwangi. I kind of have conflicted. You know what's funny? Let me tell you something. Let me show you something. Let me tell you something what's funny. Have you realized that anytime that there's a huge mandamano that's been planned to happen in Kenya, Boniface Mwangi is always arrested before the day before that, or 2 days before that. Boniface Mwangi and what's his name? The other guy, the guy who was abducted again. He has a challenging name. I forgot his name. He was also abducted. Okay? It's always a few days or a few weeks before a huge mandamano is about to happen. They get abducted, alafu watakuwa released tena. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying this guy, that's why Gaitho is on his case. These guys are suspicious. There's something that does not sit right with these guys. It's always, I think his name is Ronnie something, Boniface Mwangi and the other guy. I forgot his Yes, Stockley Kamamel. That's the Stockley is the one. He later changed his name to Kwame something. Yeah, you're right. You're right, WS Banker. Yeah, but like I was making the point. Every time there's a huge mandamano being planned in Nairobi, you'll see Hanifa, Boniface, and Shad. Yeah, Shad Kiprono. Shad has been in Shad has been abducted again earlier today or yesterday, something like that. In Mombasa or somewhere. Was it Mombasa or somewhere? Then now Boniface Mwangi has been arrested again. Okay? Then a few days after a few days, utaona wamekuwa released. I do not trust them. I'm sorry. And maybe you might think they're legit. I don't trust these guys. Especially after the last time when they went and walijipeleka kwa DCI, then I saw Hanifa smiling on the Ninio like it was a joke. I knew something was up. I'm sorry. That's just me. Maybe it is what it is. But anyway, like I was saying, I maintain there is a method of how we can actually take over this thing. We can bring back our power. And it is through popular revolution. It is not rocket science. It has been done in Kenya. It can be done again. Here's a clip from even Citizen TV wameanza kuweka maneno hapa zingine wanasema Raila is a goner. Please guys, make sure you like the video and please subscribe kama uja subscribe. I'm tuweke hizo subscribe. We want this place where we can talk about how we can.
Seth Olale takes us down memory lane from Raila. So, Raila Odinga is officially back in government after a 3-year break. But the opposition leader is not new to handshakes, this being his fourth with a sitting president. Seth Olale takes us down memory lane from Raila's first handshake with the late retired president, Daniel Arap Moi, in 2001.
It started on the steps of KICC, where Raila Odinga flanked President William Ruto as he announced plans to form a broad-based cabinet.
And we have agreed that a membership of 150 representatives of various stakeholders.
A dialogue is the way forward out of the crisis that we're having today in our country.
This is the fourth time Raila has joined government in ways other than the ballot. From the opposition benches, Raila has penetrated the center of government through the handshake. It all started from photos which emerged from Uganda, which looked like a political formation, which was denied at the time. But in time, it became apparent that this was not a drill. Raila and Ruto were up to something.
As the term of Musa Faki, our current chair, comes to an end, it is going to be the turn for East Africa to provide the chair of the Africa Union.
The offer to support Raila, AU Commission chairman, defined a shift in the political relation between two of the country's foremost opponents.
Yes.
Through meetings with other heads of states, Ruto demonstrated his commitment to support Raila's bid, and in return, Raila played ball at home. Out went the protests against cost of living, fuel prices, and other related grievances, and in came a cooperative opposition, quietly pledging not to rock the Ruto boat. This cooperation seemingly culminated in the appointment of Raila's close allies into Ruto's cabinet.
I have sufficient knowledge and experience to be able to move the AU forward. AU is an institution that was founded by the founding fathers of our nation.
Just 5 years ago, a similar script appeared to be at play, with Raila Odinga shaking hands with the then President Uhuru Kenyatta on the steps of Harambee House in what marked the beginning of what others called a shared term. Though Raila did not secure cabinet slots in Uhuru's cabinet, some diplomatic appointment went his way. So did key parliamentary positions as Kenyatta embarked on a purge of Ruto allies, replacing them with Raila's lieutenants.
And we say that the divide ends here, beginning the process of building the bridge that binds Kenya together.
This marks a new beginning for our country, a beginning in which we hope that we shall march together as Kenyans.
The Uhuru and Raila handshake was considered a carbon copy of the Kibaki and Odinga handshake of 28 February 2008. A handshake that culminated in, among other things, the formation of the Grand Coalition government, splitting power between President Kibaki and Mr. Odinga. The forced cohabitation did not, however, erase the fact that Kibaki and Odinga previously entered into another coalition agreement as they led their respective alliances in the formation of National Rainbow Coalition that won the 2002 presidential election. Raila's power-sharing experiments date back to the final years of late retired Mzee Daniel Moi's era, when he, through an arrangement called cooperation, secured the influential energy docket, an appointment that startled the opposition. Further shocks were to follow as Odinga folded his National Development Party to join KANU, where he became the Secretary General. At the time, the KANU Director of Elections was William Ruto.
Cooperation is that idea whose time has come, and ideas do move fast as their time comes. Hence this historic pact and consummation of merger today of our two parties.
And today, the two are back together. The latest cabinet changes mark an unlikely but now complete return of all allies, William Ruto and Raila Odinga. The two allies were also members of the ODM Pentagon during the 2007 election. But in the irony of politics, the two are now back together. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, you saw that. I mean, what else can I show you to tell you that this guy is a con man? I mean, what? He is not for the people, and he should be rejected along with Ruto. I can't stress this enough. I can't. This is crazy. Huh? Nani alikuja kazumza, what's his name? Kioni. I know he doesn't have much influence, but he represents Jubilee. I'm surprised Jubilee are still, I mean, Martha Karua has officially, for those of you who still don't know, Martha Karua has officially left. Martha Karua and NAC, they have left Azimio. Now, I'm still wondering why Kioni hasn't left yet. This thing is crumbling, as Kalwali has just tweeted.
Actions and torture of innocent Kenyans. Let us make it clear that any person joining Ruto's regime has in effect endorsed the killing, maiming, abductions, and torture of innocent Kenyans. Let it be known that those members who have accepted their nomination to join Ruto's cabinet are doing so in their individual capacities. As a coalition, we affirm our commitment to stand against the injustices and the police brutality. We demand the arrest and prosecution of all officers who shot and killed the Gen Z's protesters. To all Kenyans, especially the young Kenyans out there, we want to assure you that all is not lost. Let us keep our hope alive and fight for what we believe in. We ask all who oppose the Kenya Kwanza's bad governance, bad governance, to continue standing together and family, so that there is light, and because there is light at the end of the tunnel. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our leader, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, who has led our coalition successfully since its formation. We know that the Right Honorable Raila Odinga's quest for the African Union Commission leadership will enter
that's where I'll stop
beginning next month.
Anytime you start praising Raila Odinga, I have no use for you. Kinzel was asking if Babu Owino has left. No, Babu Owino just came out and made a video. I think he said he's considering himself the official head of opposition or something like that. I think I have the video somewhere. I think I do. Let me see. Okay, Babu Owino. Here is Babu Owino. I think he said something. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and like. Please subscribe and like. Let this video go out there. So Nino, let me just play this Babu Owino video. I think he says something regarding what happened. Subscribe and like as we continue. Here's Babu Owino.
Doing rounds. Yeah. Actually, from today henceforth, I'm the chief opposition leader because there are so many jokes doing rounds. There are so many people who are in the opposition who are now in bed with the government. My interest is to fight for Kenyans. It pains me. It pains me to see a person who was a fellow member of parliament joining government. And it pains me to look back in Soweto slums, Kibra slums, to look back in Central Region, Nyanza Coast and everywhere else, to see that child who has been sent away because he lacks only 5,000 to pay for their schooling in a secondary school. Sent because of 5,000. I'm so pained to see that child who's stuck in hospital cannot be treated because they lack money. Yeah, actually, from today henceforth, I'm the...
So that was Babu Owino. He said that's his reaction to what was happening to whatever to the cabinet appointments from the ODM side. So you can see that people are reacting differently. And the other video that I want to show you is, I think these are people of Nyanza or something. Hold on for a second. This is...
My fear is this. Suppose something happened, people are now MP, they have been appointed as ministers. My question is, it means they are going to leave their position of MP and now becomes the minister. My fear is this. Suppose something happens maybe after 1 year or 6 months, and then they are sacked. To me, they are going to lose a lot. If I was them, I could just stick to my MP position.
It's really unfortunate for purposes of governance and accountability, because we are witnessing the opposition end being raided and joining the government.
And this is a problem that we have. We've seen faces that the president is bringing, like Kipchumba Murkomen, for example, a face that was in the old cabinet that he actually sent home, but people have raised public issues against him. He's still brought back under different now ministry. Does that now make Kipchumba Murkomen cleaner?
All right. Anyway, guys, you can see what's happening in Kenya. Some people are calling it mchezo wa town. You call it what you will. It is what it is. But one thing is for sure, we need to mobilize and we need to get this man out, Ruto, along with his friend Raila Odinga. It's time to put Raila to bed. Time for him. We should buy him some nightgown, make sure he wears it, and let's put him to bed, political bed, figuratively speaking, figurative speech, whatever I'm saying. Let's put him to bed. No more mandamano from Raila. Let's render him as useless as a Gideon Moi, where nobody has, we don't have to listen to this guy. He is irrelevant. He cannot be taken seriously. It's enough with this con game. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Okay? And I think Miguna actually challenged him. We cannot let these people, demagogues. In fact, you can see they're trying to make this thing tribal now. A lot of these ODM folks, they are wanaeka hiyo dawa ya ninio ya ukabila. They want to make this an ukabila thing. They want to label these Gen Zs that yawa ni Wakikuyu. Oh, sisi Wajaluo, we've been fighting, sijui nini, wacha sisi pia tuingie kwa government. There were people celebrating that Mbadi is a CS. What is Mbadi being a head of treasury? How will that help his constituency? I mean, anyway. Miguna says this. This was in response to Raila Odinga's statement. He said, Conmanship, why are you afraid of openly and publicly joining the butcher of Sigoi? If you want Kenyans to believe your games, announce the expulsion of Mbadi, Joho, Oparanya, and Wandai. You should choke on whatever you are feasting on the blood of innocent Kenyans Ruto has murdered. Otherwise, hide your treacherous face in shame forever. Hashtag Ruto must go. That was Miguna responding to Raila's shenanigans. But anyway, that's what's been happening, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot have a Kenya where we have this demagogue, a non-political conman, a fake controlled opposition who's been playing both sides. Okay, once the oppressive regime is in trouble, he quits the opposition and runs and rescues the oppressor to continue oppressing Kenyans. But then, once things have calmed down, he again tries to position himself as the head of the opposition. You see what I'm saying? In fact, if you think about it, the reason why Miguna was actually forcefully exiled to Canada, it is because Miguna was basically doing what Gen Z was doing, which is he was becoming the face of the opposition. He was the driving force that was making Raila Odinga put pressure on Uhuru. So when Uhuru alipiga simu kwa Raila akasema, you know what? As long as this guy stay in Kenya, we are not going to sleep tight. Let's get rid of him. And that's why probably they couldn't kill him because they knew it would have been so obvious it's under them. So they had to forcefully exile him. Okay? And that's the reason why. Now, the same thing we see this year. Gen Z have already taken their official opposition. They were making Raila Odinga irrelevant. Raila alikuwa haizi, his mandamano was not effective as it used to be. These Gen Zs did something that Raila could not do. They were taking the position of the official opposition of Kenya. And Raila could not take that because he will be out of business. That's how he makes his money, by pretending to be the head of opposition. So he had to bring himself, assert himself in the situation, going to Kware, pretending to, mourn with the bodies that were there. Then after that, akaanza mambo ya KICC. Hizi shinanigan zote, he wants to be on the headline because he wants to maintain that image as the opposition of Kenya. And he can't stand if somebody else takes that position. And it is now apparent. That's why you see he keeps on playing these games. He wants to play both sides. One day, utamuona kesho atatoa statement again atajifanya, now I've told Mbadi they have to resign from ODM after a backlash. It's always after a backlash. He's the one who came out to the dialogue. People told him they don't want the dialogue. Akaona watu wataki dialogue, akaanza kusema ati, it will be a broad-based conversation, national conversation. What is that? Okay? Akaona watu wataki your conversation. Then he sneaked in those names that he talked to Ninio. Kaluma actually snitched on him. Kaluma told us that, Raila already put those Ninio names there. But now he can't come out. Hataki kukuja waziwazi aseme, yes, it was me who forwarded those names to Ruto. Because he's scared of backlash. Because he wants to maintain that position as the face of the opposition. He's scared. He will lose that job. That's how he makes his money. That's how he makes his deal. As long as he's the face of the opposition, he will actually make those deals with the unpopular regime of the day. That is his shtick. Hiyo ndio job yake. He can't do anything else. Political conmanship. Conning people left, right, and center and making money off that. That's how he makes his money. So we need to stop him. Gen Z need to put money in. That's why Nane needs to be a real thing. Ruto has to go. We are going to speak loudly about this.
Tukarudi hapa na story mingi tiara chini mria 2017. Abangia. Tulikuja hatukuja. tukasema sijui NYS, sijui Eurobonds, nini kasia. Ruto na Uhuru walipata hawakupata. Alafu mnataka sasa tuendelee na hiyo uongo. Ruto apate, akishashinda Raila ataruka tena, ataenda kwa handshake na Ruto, atatuacha kwa mataa. Wanaweru ikura ya president wa Kenya 2022 mukupira wina tumu nadia kulala mwana weke tumu pata hawakupata. Tukarudi hapa na story mingi tiara tini mria 2017. Abanea tulikuja hatukuja, tukasema sijui NYS, sijui Eurobonds, nini kasia. Ruto na Uhuru walipata hawakupata. Alafu mnataka sasa tuendelee na hiyo uongo. Ruto apate, akishashinda Raila ataruka tena, ataenda kwa handshake na Ruto, atatuacha kwa mataa.
Kalwale told us, like the video, guys. Make sure you like the video. We have to take that video in the algorithm so people can see it. And please make sure, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are in this. I'm telling you, Nane, here is what I'll be driving. This is going to be my agenda for the next week or so until Nane. I'm pushing this hard because I thought about this whole process too. And finally, somebody can think like me, and let's push this idea. People have to meet up at Nairobi. I'll show you the Orodha of Kipindi again. It is up here. But before that, this is what replay again. I'll show you this video here. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe and like it so that it can go to the algorithm ichape huko ndio watu wapate hii video na waione so they can push this message. Nane is coming. Let's make it the Tariri Square of Kenya. We have to remove Ruto. We have to do that. And he has to not only go home by himself with Rigathi Gachagua and his whole cabinet along with Raila Odinga. No more games. No more games. No more games. No more games. They have to go. All of them. All of them. You conmanship itaisha. Itaisha. I'm sorry. It has to end. This is the end of it. Raila Odinga, you along with Ruto, you need to go. You need to go. Enough of your conmanship. Iyo tumewacha. Ukabila na yo shetani uko nayo. Tiala lala timbibi. We don't want it anymore. You have to go. Listen to Migona very carefully when he asked the question.
The same Raila Odinga, a coward, betrayed his comrades. The same way he betrayed me.
Betrayed his comrades?
They were hanged, he was not. Why? Have you ever wondered why Raila was not hanged and Ochoka was? Ochoka was simply a senior private in the army, in the Air Force, right? So who could have been the leader of that movement? A private in the army or Raila Odinga, the son of Jaramogi? Who had the money to fund the coup? Ochoka, private, was earning less than 10,000 shillings. Could actually do a coup? Have you guys wondered? But he was hanged. Wow. Uriwe Hongo was hanged. Ogido Bon was hanged. Many others, junior officers, were hanged. Raila Odinga survived. How? Ask yourself. How was Raila saved? What saved him? Because he betrayed his comrades, just like he betrayed me.
Hey, unaona hapo. Anyway, here's the Orodha again for those of you who haven't seen it. Nane, I'm pushing for it too. We need to meet up at Nairobi. This the Orodha Vipindi. Look at the screen. You have to check it out. This is the deal. Nairobi is the meeting point. Okay? Nairobi is the meeting point. Nane. TikTok, create videos and share them more widely. WhatsApp, update your status and share with contacts. Facebook and X, post and share messages to raise awareness. From the 28th to the 31st of July, mobilizing for transportation. Everybody from every 47 counties in Kenya, look for ways of transportation to make your way to Nairobi. Ensure that the people from all 47 counties can travel to Nairobi for the march. Coordinate to arrange buses and other means of transport. Organize carpooling and group transport from each county where possible. From the 1st to the 4th August, organizing accommodation. Provide lodging and participants traveling from across the Kenya. Like I say, you guys can look for churches, mosque, where people can sleep there, kitu kama hicho. Okay? Call on Nairobi residents to open their homes and offer accommodation to fellow marchers. You can find, like I said, hotels, wapatie deal or kitu kama hicho. But to me, I would go with shelters, like churches and mosques will be the best thing to do because they are big, huge. You have to kulala up, okay? Partner with local hosts and hotels for discounted rates. Set up temporary shelters and camps for those who will need it. From the 5th to the 7th of August, final preparations and coordination. Confirm all transportation and accommodation arrangements. Conduct final briefings with volunteers and coordinators. Then occupy CBD and march forward. We need everyone to Nairobi from all 47 counties. Just like Tahrir Square in Egypt, we will not leave until our goal is accomplished. Upo hapo mpaka Ruto aondoke. It can be done. It has been done before. We shall be doing it again, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and comrades, this is Kenya Revolution. I want to thank everyone who has been on the comment section and have been watching me on the background and have been actively on the chat. I thank you so much for listening. I'll be back again at least at 4, which will be what? 11 p.m. 11 usiku ya Kenyan time. England, it will be probably like 10 or whatever. I don't know, 8, right? I'll be back again for another session. But I want to shout out some people on the comment section. WS Banker, thank you so much. Kinzal, thank you so much. Shanti Mikhail, thank you so much. Chief Negus, thank you so much. Who else? Oh my goodness. Messi M, thank you so much. Benjamin Musau, thank you so much. Oduoro Nyango Lucas, thank you so much. Pharaoh Amose or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't mess up that name. Thank you so much. Who else? Gerald Wanga, thank you. Frederick, thank you again. Paul Mwinga, thank you so much. I think Oduoro Nyango Lucas, I've already mentioned your name. Peter Ologi, thank you so much for joining me. Elijah Mativo, thank you, definitely. I appreciate you. Alano, thank you. Mary Wilborn, thank you. Who else? Green, thank you for joining me too. Hilary Koech, thank you for joining me. Vicky Hanel, as usual, thank you. James Wood, Kamakawa, and everybody else who's been watching quietly. Please be active on this. Be part of it. I know maybe you're working or you're at work, you're doing something else. Do me a favor. You can just do something simple. Stretch your finger, hit that subscribe button and the like button. Be part of it. You can always listen to me and put your notification on. So when I come in, you can always get that ping sound and you can join me. You can listen while you're working in the background or you're doing something. You can listen to me. I'm always here for an hour, max 2 hours. Sometimes people join me or don't. That's fine. But thank you so much. Again, subscribe so you can be part of the conversation. So you can actually go ahead and, give your views on the chat and all that stuff. Like, so the algorithm can pick up the video and circulate it so Ruto can see it. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in a few hours, probably in 3 hours or 4 hours. So, okay. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later. Peace and blessings.